Welcome to Technical Leadership Talks, the podcast that brings you advice, insights, and knowledge from industry leaders and experts on how to navigate managing in a technical field. Technical Leadership Talks is brought to you by Texas A&M University's Master of Engineering Technical Management, an online graduate program that trains industry professionals for leadership positions. I'm Katie, METM's digital marketer and your host for this episode. In today's episode, we are featuring Tina Redhorse, the founder and CEO of Redhorse Engineering. We are discussing Tina launching her own company, from the courage it took to get started to the challenges, rewards, and leadership lessons she's learned along the way. Can you start by telling me about your company, what it does, and what makes it unique in the engineering space?
Yeah, so I started Redhorse Engineering actually in August of this year, so 2025. It's a special company because it is 100% woman and Native American owned engineering company. We are based here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where we focus on providing professional engineering services. So anything when you think of project engineering, project management, program management, any project, any agency that is seeking project support for, whether that's on a civil engineering project, such as a new water main, or maybe curb and gutter or stormwater rehabilitation. We even work within the nuclear facility landscape. So the company is very diverse in terms of who we serve and what we offer.
What inspired you to take the leap from being an employee to starting your own company? And then also, if you'll explain a little bit about like your career path up to now, so people can get an idea of how you made this decision to start your own company.
Wow. So it actually was a very long term dream of mine that I wanted to start my own company. So it actually started about 9 years ago when I was working in California. And I was actually working as a project manager on a tunnel project at the time. And it was really from that experience that I saw the importance of having small businesses as part of your project. And so we worked a lot with different small businesses, and had it not been for them and their contributions, I don't think our project would have been as successful as it was. And so I think for me, that was really kind of a goal of mine was, hey, I would like to start a business. Like I would like to be able to provide services that could contribute to the success of different projects. And so I think it was just a different series of steps that I took to get to where I'm at and starting a business. And so I think taking that leap, for me, it was just time. I think I was in the right mental space, and I think I was also in the right place professionally, where I think I was still very able-bodied in mind. And I think for me, that was just what I needed to start this company.
Yeah. And even if you felt like you were ready, it's still a really scary thing to do. So what fears or doubts did you have? And then how did you overcome them?
So I think just the mere fear of leaving a very stable, comfortable, job. I think that's why a lot of people do the work that they do, because there's that certain level of stability and comfort. You know that you're going to be, working on this project, where you're in, your next paycheck is coming from,
Right.
What kind of benefits you're getting. And for me, it was really that fear of, oh no, like I'm going to be without, right? And so how do I build from scratch, and how do I overcome that? And so for me, it was a lot of business prepping and research on my end, like what were the risks of entering, into a business. And so I went to a lot of business formation workshops, business planning seminars, and they really gave me an idea as to what to expect. And I think that's what was helpful for me, because it was more of a calculated risk. And so I think that fear is still kind of there because I'm still very new. But I think right now The fear was really just doing it. And I
Mm,
think once I started, that fear subsided. And
mm,
now you're given more challenges and more obstacles because this is new. This is new territory for me. So I think it's just human nature to feel fearful doing anything new, at
yeah.
least for me. And so I think for me, just every day is overcoming a new fear because
Mhm.
I'm also learning from it. So I
Right.
think that's for me, that's a positive spin on it because I like to learn, I like to be
Right.
challenged, and then finally doing what I wanted to do.
Was there a specific moment when you knew, okay, I can do this. I'm ready to start my own company? I know you talked about feeling like you had the experience, amongst other things, but do you want to expand on that question at all?
I think for me, there was really no specific moment. It was more of I just felt like I needed a challenge
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I needed to do something different and do something for myself. And so I think I got really serious about it maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I had that serious conversation with my family
Mm-hmm.
and my family and my close relatives saying, this is what I want to do. And, I really took their interests and
Mm-hmm.
opinions into consideration. And I kind of did my own, in a way, risk management, risk planning for
Yeah.
my own company, because in a way I was kind of selling it to them too, because this is what I want to do, this is what I expect to do, this is what I expect to get out of it. And um I think what really led to that was also getting a business consultant on board. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a game changer for me because she really opened up my eyes to different risks, but also different rewards for going
Mm-hmm.
into business for myself. And
Yeah.
so she offered a really unique perspective to what I was trying to do. And so I think we started doing, some of the market research. We started writing
Right.
a business plan. Um, and so for me, I felt very confident at that point, and I thought, hey, this is viable. Like this
Yeah.
is really something I want to do. And all the thoughts and all the things I wanted to do were actually put to a plan. And so I think for me, once I had that confidence and I knew what I was doing, for this business, I think that's when I really felt that I could successfully and
Yeah.
confidently leave my old job.
Yeah, no, that's great. So starting a business requires both technical and leadership skills. So how did getting your master's degree, any mentors you have or other experiences help prepare you for this step?
Wow. So there's a lot to that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
because I think the master's program through Texas A&M really helped me gain the confidence I needed. And I really owe it to the program to kind of validate my love for engineering management and technical leadership. And in a way, my business is really on that foundation
Yeah.
because we offer we offer project management, project engineering, leadership services. And then not only that, we also offer leadership workshops for technical professionals
Mhm.
who want to be leaders and who
Yeah.
want to lead in their fields. And so I feel like the program really helped me have that realization and also really created that love and passion for
Mhm.
helping and empowering others. And so that was one for the program, and then also mentors.
Mhm.
um, I really wouldn't be here speaking to you today or even probably having a business had it not been for my mentors.
Mhm.
And I always speak of one particular mentor, and I'm going to share about him real quickly.
Mhm.
He was pivotal in all of this. He was my very first um, team leader when I was a junior engineer.
Mhm.
He really taught me how to how to do engineering, how to do field work, and I wouldn't be successful as I am today without him.
Yeah.
And So I think he was one of the early on advocates and champions for me. And when I have mentors or mentees, um, I always want to tell them, find that mentor because they will make an everlasting impression on your professional life. And so he did that for me. And 9 years ago, he was really the one that was like, you could do this. You could start your own business. And I think in a way he really planted that seed into my head about you can do this. You should do this. And at the time, I was just one of happy-go-lucky, just working out in the field, doing what I was doing. And I think that reinforcement and that, that what would you call it? The belief and faith in me that I could do this, it was very instrumental in where I'm at right now.
What has been one of the biggest challenges that you've faced and how have you tackled it?
So I think the biggest challenge is just starting. When I was doing my research, I talked to a lot of other entrepreneurs and other small business owners, and even some people who had started their own, one-person engineering company. And I really interviewed them and I talked to them, and I kind of wanted to understand like what their experiences were. And I think again, that challenge and that fear was just like, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the consensus that I received from a lot of these people was the hardest thing is starting. And for me, it was one of those like, well, what does that really mean? And I learned that the hardest part was really the formation, right? You have to do your business plan, you have to do your research, you have to really market yourself, you really have to put yourself out there, and you have to have that confidence, and you have to be able to say, okay, I have this business. And obviously there's some legal and other things you got to deal with. So again, you're kind of on the hook for yourself. So you have to make sure that you are properly registered, that you have a business plan, that you have a marketing plan, that you have a registration. So, and your taxes are all done. And so I think in a weird way, like those have been like the most challenging because those are so new to me. And so it's been a very kind of a long process trying to understand it and gather my bearings on it. Because to me, the work is the easiest part.
Right.
It's really like getting a business up and running has been like such a challenge.
So on the flip side, though, what's been the most rewarding and surprising part of starting your business?
Honestly, I have loved every single day that I've had my business operating. And I think one of the most rewarding things has just the doors that it's opened. And I think for me, I'm a very social person, and I do like meeting people in industry, and I do like hearing what people are working on and the projects that they're on. And I think for me, that has just been like one of the most rewarding things because I've been able to kind of have more freedom in talking and learning more about all these different people. And for me, it's also opened the doors to other Indigenous business owners. And in a way, it's created this incredible, connection. Just hearing what they're doing and, how they became a business owner and the successes of their businesses. It's just very empowering, and it makes me feel better too because I'm like, okay, I'm not in it alone. And so I've just met some incredible people. I mean, it's only been a couple of months and I'm just in awe half the time of the people that I meet because they're just incredible what they're doing.
It's so fulfilling. That's what it sounds like.
It is.
Yeah, that's great. So for other engineers who might be thinking about starting their own companies, what advice would you give them?
Geez. I think some of the advice that I would give them would be really understand what you want to do. And I think you can plan and plan and plan, but there's always going to be something that you didn't account for. And I think you also have to get over that you don't know everything, and I don't know everything. And I'm constantly, like I mentioned earlier, I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly questioning process, and I'm constantly trying to figure out, okay, what's the next step? And even though I had this roadmap prepared for myself, there's been a couple of times I've deviated from it, or it didn't work out, and I'm like, okay, I have to adapt, I have to pivot. And that I learned from the program, because when we did our coaching, that was something that was actually a weakness of mine. And I've learned to actually harness it, because now I would actually say I've been very flexible. That was actually a weakness of mine when I took my DISC assessment. But I think if you are going to start a business, I think it's important to do your research and do your due diligence, and saying, okay, this is my roadmap, this is my business plan, these are my goals for the next 1 year to 5 years out. And then also really having a champion. And I can't express that more, because these champions are going to be the one who really put in a good word for you. And they're going to be the ones who really are going to be following you throughout your journey. But also, I think I've been very lucky, because since I started my business, a lot of people have come out and said, hey, I can help you with this, or hey, we would like to be a mentor for you for this. And I mean, that's just been incredibly, supportive, and totally unexpected at the same time, because it makes me think, wow, you actually see success and potential in me, that you're willing to kind of help me, through the process. So I would just tell others that just make sure you do your research, make sure that you network, and just, be thoughtful in what you're trying to do.
Thank you for listening in to today's episode. Tech Leadership Talks is brought to you by Texas A&M University's Master of Engineering Technical Management. To learn more, visit metm.tamu.edu.